Hello, good morning again. So before I come to the conclusion in the permutation chapter, I'd like to do a couple of sums pertaining to permutation, then we'll pass over to combination. Okay, right. Here, say question. How many words can be formed by using all the letters, right? Letters of the words number one, say Mississippi. I hope all of you know that Mississippi is a river in America. I'll take up another word also, say abracadabra. This particular word is used by the magician just to make the people little confused and all that. Abracadabra, right? Say number 3, examination. Etc. Okay, 3 words will be sufficient. Now, what do you see that in the earlier examples, we have taken up the things, the word, where all the letters were different. But I think you can mark in the word Mississippi, there are repetition of I, you see, there are 4 I's here, there are 4 S's here, and then there are 2 P's. Well, if they interchange, if you interchange P and P, it doesn't matter. It will mean the same thing. Similarly, this SS and SS, right? And if that I will interchange themselves, one with the other, then it will not create any new word. So the number of words will be less. Now, in this cases, what you do is, you just try to note it down. Hopefully you are with the pen and paper, as I told you. Say the total number of, number 1, okay? Number 1. Total number of letters. Total number of letters. You just count it. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right? Okay, now you try to see the number of letters which has been repeated. Say total number of I's, say number of I's, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And the total number of S's, number of Aces are also 4 in number, right? And then what is the number of P's? Number of P's, there are 2 in number, and you can see clearly that M is all alone. So M is all alone. Total number of M is 1. So 4, 4, 10, 10 to 12. No, 4, 4, 8, 8 to 10, and 1, 11. Is that right? So in these cases, what we do is that the number of words, we can write it, the required number of words will be equal to, you write total number of letters in the numerator. So total number of letters is 11 factorial. Okay. As you know that if the letters of the word were different, then the answer would have been 11 factorial. But the fact remains is that because of the repetitions of the letters, the number of words will be diminished. It will be reduced by what? See, i's are 4, so 4 factorial, multiplied to another 4 factorial, multiplied to 2 factorial, and then multiplied to 1 factorial. As simple as that. So what do? Wherever, in whichever word you find that there is repetition of letters, you see the total number of letters, you put the total number of letters in the numerator, and it will be divided by the repetitions, like i's, a's, p's, right? For m we have written 1 only, right? So you can write, say, 4 factorial, is that right? 4 factorial to 5 into 6 into 7 into 8 into 9 into 10 into 11. So it's a big number, right? Okay. I put 4 factorial deliberately because it can be cancelled with that 4. And this 4 factorial, you can write it down. How much will it be? 2 into 3 into 4. And 2 can be written as simply 2. Because 1 into 2 doesn't matter. You can write 2 factorial as 2. 1 factorial is 1. So into 1 need not be written. So 4 factorial cancels with 4 factorial. So 2 3s are 6. 4 2s are 8. So remaining you can just do it out. What will be the thing? 5 7s are 35, right? 35. And 9 10s are 90. That will be 990. So you multiply and get your answer. What it will be? Okay, let's do it out. 35 990. So I write that 0 first. 9 5s are 45. 9 3s are 27. 27 and 4, 31. Is it right? Okay. We'll get the same. 9 5s are 45, but since we have written 0 there for this, we'll have to start from here, right? So 5 1 3. So it will be 0 5 6 4 and 3. So 34,650. 34,650 number of words can be formed by using all the letters of the word Mississippi, right? So this is the case when the letters were repeated, and you will see that in this word also there are some repetition. For example, A is repeated, A is here, A is there, A is there, A is there. There are 4 number of letters, so naturally you will count the total number of letters 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Luckily there are also 11 there. So 4 are there, and you see B is repeated twice. Is it okay? R is also repeated twice. So like that you count and write it down, and you can do it, right? You can find out the thing. So this one and this one, you please try to do it out by yourself. It is a task for you. I think you can read abracadabra and examination. You will do in the same way that we have done. You write the total number of letters first and the number of here number of A's, number of B's, okay, and what things are repeated, you can say number of R's, okay, and those things which are not repeated neither be written, like I have written M, but just to make the total 11, I have written all of them, right? Okay, so this will be the end of your permutation. Now we'll go for combination, okay, right? Yeah, so I have taken up one problem, yeah, one problem from combination. So I have picked up this one. This was set in one of your examinations earlier. Cn minus 1 R is to Cn R is to Cn plus 1 R is equal to 6 is to 9 is to 13. This is the material supply to you, and with the help of this you got to find out the values of N and R, because as you read this, N and R are unknown here, but you are given that particular hint here. So you try to recall what is CNR. CNR is N factorial over R factorial and then N minus R factorial. That is the thing, right? So in accordance with that, we got to find out the value of this one. Okay, let's see. Given, well, if suppose you are given A is to B is to C is equal to 1 is to 2 is to 3, for example, then you can do what? You can do A is to B will be equal to 1 is to 2, is that right? Or accordingly you can write A by B is equal to 1 by 2, and since B is to C will be 2 is to 3. So B is to C will be equal to 2 is to 3, and accordingly you could write it in fractional form. B by C will be equal to 2 by 3. Is that right? Okay. Now we are given what? Cn minus 1 R is to Cn R will be equal to 6 is to 9, right? 6 is to 9. Okay, let's write it out in the fractional form. Suppose A is to B is 1 is to 2, like that, all right? So this will give me Cn minus 1 R upon Cn R will be equal to 6 by 9. 6 by 9 can be, of course, reduced. 3 2s are 6 and 3 3s are 9, right? Now let us try to continue here in the same line, because so Cn minus 1 times N minus 1 R can be written as what? You will write N minus 1 factorial upon R factorial, then N minus 1 minus R, N minus 1 minus R factorial. That's right? Okay. And what about this? C and R, you have already known. It can be written as N factorial over R factorial, then N minus R factorial. That's right? Okay. That will be equal to 2 upon 3. Fine? Okay. So next, let's write it down here. N minus 1 factorial upon R factorial. Let me write that one, N minus 1 minus R factorial, as N minus R minus 1 factorial, right? multiply 2. See, a by b upon c by d could be written as a by b multiplied to d by c. This will jump up. So it will be r factorial, then n minus r factorial upon n factorial. Now this situation will demand your knowledge of factorial. You know that n factorial very much contains n minus 1 factorial, because after n minus 1 comes n. So n factorial could be written as what? N minus 1 factorial into n, right? Okay, let's write it down that way. N minus 1 factorial, and then of course this r factorial and r factorial can cancel away right away, right? N minus r minus 1. So n minus r minus 1 factorial into, well, n minus r factorial is preceded by what? Say 5 is preceded by 4, 4 is preceded by 3, 1 less than that. So n minus r is preceded by n minus r minus 1 factorial into n. Is that right? Sorry, n minus r. Fine. So this is preceded by 1 less than that. And n factorial you can write as n minus 1 factorial into n is equal to 2 by 3. It will need some more space, right? Okay. Now the cancellation, these two are identical, you can cancel them away, right? N minus r minus 1 factorial, n minus r minus 1 factorial, you can cancel them away. So you are left with what? You are left with certain kind of relation here, that is twice n. You cross multiply, this part has already cancelled. Twice n will be 3n minus 3r. So this will give me what? Twice n, or you can write 3n minus 3r. What have we done? You have cross multiplied. 3 into n is 3n, 3 into minus r is 3r, will be equal to twice n. So you have been able to establish the relationship between n and r. So if you bring this twice n to the other side of sign of equality, it will be minus twice n, right? So 3n minus twice n will be n, and then this 3r goes to the other side, it will become plus 3r, minus 3r becomes plus 3r. So we can write what? Therefore, n will be equal to 3r. I believe there is no difficulty to understand, because 2n has been brought to this side, so 3n minus 2n is n, and minus 3r has been shunted to the other side of sign of equality, it becomes 3r. So that is one relation you've got. Now this we have been able to get by the first two information. What about the second two information? This one, that is Cnr is to Cn plus 1r will give you 9:13. So again, what do we have? We have got that Cnr divided by, okay, let's write down straight away, Cn plus 1, n plus 1, comma r, right, is equal to 9:13. 9:13. So earlier we have been able to cancel 6 and 9, but here we cannot cancel because 13 is a prime number. Okay, let's try to simplify this. As you know this, you write what is this all about. Okay, I shall write this one Cnr as what? N factorial, right? then r factorial, and n minus r factorial. That's right? Okay. Now n plus 1 factorial into, I hope you will not be confused, I am going to write that down. So it will be n plus 1 factorial, then r factorial, and then n plus 1 minus r factorial, n plus 1 minus r factorial. Is that right? Equal to 9 by 13. 9 by 13. Okay? Now can you cancel some of those? Okay. Now r factorial will cancel it with r factorial. Now tell me if we can cancel these two. Answer is yes. N factorial can be cancelled with n plus 1 factorial. How many times? N plus 1 times. Because n plus 1 factorial is preceded by n factorial, is it? That n factorial cancels away with this. Okay. Similarly, this is n minus r factorial, and that is n minus r plus 1 factorial. Is that right? What is it? Once again, this is n minus r factorial, whereas that is 1 more than n minus r factorial. That is n minus r plus 1. So obviously this will cancel with that one. How many times? N minus r plus 1 times. Okay? So the cancellation is over. So you have, this part is already cancelled. Here you have got on the top n minus r plus 1, and down at the bottom you have got n plus 1. Clearly? Equal to 9 by 13. So you can say from there, what can you refer to? Okay, that will be, I hope, no difficulty, 13n minus 13r plus 13 is equal to 9n plus 9. Is it? Yeah, you have multiplied by 9 this one, 9n plus 9n plus 9, and this 13 is multiplied this one, so you got all this, right? Now you try to see what you can do here. 13n minus 9n, that will be 4n, is it? And then 13r will just try to take it to that side. So what will happen? Tell me. 13r will go to the other side. I'll try to bring this, okay. 4n will be equal to, that 4n is 13n minus 9n, that is 4n. This goes to the other side, so it becomes 13r. And then this goes to the other side, it becomes minus 13, right? Minus 13, that will be minus 4. Clear? Okay. But your n is equal to 3r. Is it so? Okay. Let's name it 1. So 1 entitles you to write n equal to 3r. So let's write that down, that n is equal to 3r, 4 into 3r equal to 13r minus 4, right? Okay, let me continue here. There's a dot of space. So this will give me 12r, okay? 12r, all right, don't get confused. This 12r, I'll bring it to the other side. It will become 13r minus 12r, is it? 13r minus 12r. Is it okay? because 4 3s are 12R, which is brought to the other side, so it becomes minus, and minus 4 you send it to the other side, it becomes plus 4, right? So therefore R is equal to how much? 13R minus 12R is R is equal to 4. Once you know the value of R, can you know the value of N? Answer is yes. N is equal to 3R, therefore 1 gives, and 1 will give me what? N will be equal to, okay, here we can write from 1 to be precise. Otherwise one may be thinking, how did you write N is equal to 3R? It is from there, from 1. So N1 will give you N is equal to 3R, so R is equal to 4, so 3 into 4, right? That is equal to 12. So therefore the required values of N and R are what? Therefore N is equal to 12 and R is equal to 4. Okay, so that's the answer. If you come across this kind of question, that is the way you try to solve it out. Okay, right.